Hey guys, Leaf here of Latchkey Kids. Week 2, Season 4 of the VBA. We started this match at a 1-0 record at +2, but my dumbass thought I hit record, and I didn't hit record. But I don't want to not give you guys something to watch, because I recorded this whole heartfelt speech like at the end of my match, right? And then I looked down. I was gonna click stop recording, and then realized it wasn't recording. But I made this layout and everything just so I could record this week without having complications. And so yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes, and hopefully you guys haven't already clicked off. But I'm gonna talk about the game and kind of what I think I did wrong, what I think I did right, which wasn't much. But too long didn't read. Once again, we got destroyed by our friend RubyTPokemon. Game 1 was a 4-0. Game 2 was a lot closer. It ended up being, had I protected last turn, there was a chance that I could have pulled through, but it was pretty close. Game 2. So, but Ruby's a fantastic player, and I have all my notes here that I can easily read from. No, they're not. They're right here. So, it was a fun match regardless. I had a lot of fun. Game 1, he led with Rapidash and led with Bronzong. Now, my original plan was to bring Talonflame to kind of deal with both. Actually, let me bring up my actual team. I think that'll be easier to explain things. Let's see. I don't know how to play this game. I'm sorry. Alright. So I brought Talonflame, Persian, Primarina, Decidueye, Mamoswine, and Gothorita. Gothorita was a little bit of a cheeky pick. I should have just left it. I should have honestly just brought the same 6 that I brought last week. I could have even made an argument to bring Drampa, but I didn't. Now, my original plan was to bring Talonflame to deal with both Trick Room and Tailwind options, because he has both Whimsicott and he has Trick Room modes. And his Trick Room mode is pretty scary, and I prepped for it being scary. I just didn't prep for how scary it was. Avalugg can take any hit unless it's a special attack, and I knew that before going in, but I didn't use that knowledge to my power, I guess. So I brought Taunt on Talonflame. So turn 1, when he led Avalugg and Rapidash, I went right for the taunt onto Bronzong. What I did was I led Talonflame next to Persian, but because I had the fake out pressure, that hold on, let me fix my camera. Sorry, one moment. Anyways, because I had the fake out pressure, what he did turn 1 is he double protected. So he saw that I had taunt, and he probably assumed that I was going to go taunt for the second turn. Now, what he did turn 2, I didn't realize Rapidash got ally switch. So turn 2, what he did was he ally switched with the Rapidash, which he knew I would target. No, he knew I would target the Bronzong, so he ally switched, right? And my taunt went right into Rapidash, and Bronzong was able to get the free Trick Room up. And then from there, he switched in Avalugg. He Rock Tombs my bird, which didn't kill because I was running kind of a bulkier set, specifically because this is more support bound. And the Flame Charge there, instead of the Flare Blitz, is specifically because I wanted a couple different ways to self-proc weakness policy on Mamoswine. So I brought the taunt, Tailwinds. I brought what I figured a good support Talonflame could bring in this scenario. But because of that fake out pressure, he got the ally switch and the free Trick Room off. And then after he Rock Tombs my bird, he then Rock Tombed the self-proc his Avalugg's weakness policy. Avalugg hits hard with weakness policy. Avalugg hits hard with weakness policy under Trick Room. I knew that most of my Pokemon didn't take hits from a +2 Avalugg, but I kind of built hoping that I wouldn't let it get that far, and I did. So congrats on Ruby on that. So game one, that's basically how it went. It was literally a 4-0. Avalug killed Mamo. Avalug killed Persian. Talonflame self KOs, and Avalug kills Decidueye. I brought Decidueye to handle the Golurk as well as the Bronzong. Golurk didn't come. Um, Bronzong was hella bulky. Poltergeist didn't even. Poltergeist was supposed to do minimum 80%, but I guess the calc website was wrong because he was a little less than 80% HP and Poltergeist didn't kill. So that hurt me quite a bit, I guess. But I was still already in a losing. I wouldn't have been able to bring it back. This is why I was at too low HP at that point. But game two was a lot closer. My biggest mistake game two was leading Primarina next to Mamoswine. So my Primarina is set up with Aqua Jet, Hyper Voice, Ice Beam, Moonblast. The Aqua Jet is specifically for Weakness Policy Mamoswine. Now, I got my Weakness Policy set off game one under, I was Dynamaxed, and I got it off, right? And it only did about 20 to 25% on the Avalug. So I guess my biggest mistake game two was going for the Aqua Jet Weakness Policy into Mamoswine, because knowing how little damage it did game one, I should not have tried it game two. What I should have realistically did is I should have taken Primarina and taken the fact that she has such high special attack. And I'm running a special attack set this week. I'm not running a bulky set. I'm running like a kind of like a bulky sweeper set. Like I am running, I believe, 240 something or 252 on the Prima for HP. But I'm 252 special attack. And I am calm. So I was set specifically for special defense. Because Avalug under normal conditions wasn't doing much to Primarina. So I went calm because of Vikavolt. And I wanted to survive at least one Vikavolt attack in case that scenario came up. But either way, I ran the Aqua Jet, and I should not have used that game two. I should have actually put all my eggs into Primarina's basket, because Avalug has such small special defense, and he didn't have any special defense boosts at this point, that I should have just tried to take care of the Avalug with my Primarina. That was a massive oversight that led for an uphill battle for the rest of the match. Now, I was able to get the kill on Rapidash, I think by turn 2 or 3. Maybe turn 2, because it was right when I maxed, so that was turn 2. So Mamo killed Rapidash, but then a little further down the game, because we did a lot of switching. Like it was a lot of like stale play for a couple of minutes. But Avalug ended up one-shotting Persian with the max ice at +2. And then Decidueye died to hail damage, because like I said, I was switching in and out. So I was trying to switch into attacks that weren't super effective. But Pokemon still do a lot of damage, and Decidueye was at like 30%, I believe. No, Decidueye was at 22 HP, and Ruby protected. So no, I attacked Bronzong, which was who protected. Bronzong protected, and I attacked. I believe it was Shadows. No, Poltergeist. Poltergeist went into Bronzong, and then Hail took HP from it that turn. Then the following turn, he double protected with both those Pokemon. And the Ice Chip killed Decidueye. And in the original, what I thought was recording, I actually made fun of him. I was like, dang, you scared Decidueye. You're going to let Hail kill. And I called the ally switch cheeky and all that. Like, I was having fun with it. But this is why we can't have nice things. Because I don't hit record, I guess. But yeah, Decidueye dies to Hail. Primarina killed Avalug because it didn't take much for a Moonblast to kill Avalug after Dynamax, because he has no special defense. And I should have went with that game. I should have went with that game too. I should have went with Primarina as my main damage dealer. I think it would have been a lot different, because Primarina kills Avalug there. Primarina definitely kills Rapidash. Like, I don't have to worry about Rapidash. And the rest of the Pokemon I brought could have dealt with the Bronzong and the Vikavolt easy. So I should have. That's how I should have went with it. But you live and you learn. So yeah, Bronzong ended up killing Mamoswine at the end of the game. So the situation at the end of the game was originally it was Primarina next to Mamoswine, both with like 30% or less. But I got a flinch on Bronzong with one of my rock slides. But that was the turn that Vikavolt protected. And Vikavolt, I think, would have went down there. But if not, he definitely would have went down the next turn. Both my Pokemon were faster than both of his Pokemon. But his Vikavolt had an avoid. First he avoided the rock slide, then he protected the rock slide. And on the turn that he protected the rock slide is when I flinched Bronzong. Now, the following turn, so that's when he let... Then Vikavolt killed Primarina. So then it was just Mamoswine left. Now, that protect on the Vikavolt and the... I was hoping to get a flinch on the Bronzong. If I got a flinch on the Bronzong that second turn, it would have went different. But instead of relying on RNG, I should have just protected the Mamoswine, because that was the smarter play anyways. Because then he wouldn't have been able to protect Vikavolt the next turn, which his Vikavolt would have died. And then it would have threatened the flinch on Bronzong. So I wouldn't have like 100% guaranteed win, but it would have set me up for my greatest chance at success. Because when Vikavolt goes down, then that puts Bronzong into a 2-slot, you know, taking damage for 2 slots. And on top of that, takes the flinch. I think he was at minimal HP to the point where he might have died from a 2-slot rock slide, but I can't confirm that. I could watch Ruby's Ruby recorded raw footage. Like, he didn't record the actual match, but he recorded the match, but he didn't record to like push content. He just recorded raw footage. So I might ask if I could watch that back. So he might have been at low enough HP to take to die to a 2-slot rock slide, but who knows if that even would have connected, you know. Any move that's not 100% is 50% in this game. But yeah, so that was basically it. I made a lot of really big mistakes, and I realized those mistakes, and it won't happen again. I have a couple people over in Kanto that I need to have salty runbacks with, so I need to make playoffs. And there's a lot of people in Johto that I have salty runbacks with as well. So I lost this salty runback. Hopefully I don't make this a habit. Prep starts now. So I'll see you guys next week. We're playing against Senpai. Senpai's going to bring out all his bats because we're 1-1 right now. Don't look at that. We're 1-1 right now. So he's gonna want to get the set complete before Gen 9 starts coming out. So, but thanks for watching, everybody. And yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't show you a battle, but hopefully you were able to sit through this, and kind of listen and talk with me. So yeah, good games to Ruby, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.